Hello and welcome to this new tutorial, and in this one I will show how to create a simple cartoon effect. Well, simple to reproduce at least, and it will be in two steps. First to create draw lines, and then to create a little kind of painting effect over a picture. So let's import an image, an example image. So this is one image from my vacation, but you can find plenty of images on the internet. So useful shortcut, by the way: Control Alt E to fit inside, O for fit outside, P for pixel perfect, and 5 for stretch to screen, and then a different number to put your image like you want. So let's fit that inside, or more, let's fit that outside. Rotate this image from 90 degrees. All right. All right. So now let's start the creation process of the cartoon effect. So first I will use this modifier that is in stylize, the Sobel modifier. So as you see, the Sobel draw lines, and it actually draw lines where the image contain a zone of contrast, so luminosity difference. So now this Sobel effect, here the size can affect the intensity, the width of the line, but you have to be very cautious because it can go sideways very fast. So I always use Control, Shift and drag and drop to change the intensity of my lines. And then the threshold will, as you see, change the where you are going to actually create your line, in which kind of contrast and intensity. And then you can also add the source level to 100% to draw the source image. But as you see, the lines are not that fancy. They have like this little aliased shape. So my way to fix the issue is to add a little blur over it. Okay, so now if I put a blur for 1 pixel or 2 pixel, so now it decreases the aliasing of my line, but it blur my background image also, which is really not what I want. So to as a workaround, I will use this very nice modifier, which is the overlay. And I will put my Sobel into the overlay, my Gaussian blur into the overlay. And what this will allow me to do is now my two modifiers are contained into my overlay. And what I say to the Sobel is to keep the source level to 0%. So what I have in my overlay is the Sobel plus the Gaussian blur. Okay. So what is currently doing the overlay now is adding the Sobel plus the Gaussian blur that I will put back as 2 pixels and put that over my image. Allez, Smode, come on. Okay. So now I have my my base image that is not blurred, but my lines that are. So of course, if I add inside of this a little colorize and change the gradient. Fuck, what is happening with my computer? Okay, I can change the color of my line and do shitload of gradient and whatever kind of effect I want. Of course, the edge color, I can change that directly from the Sobel. But yeah, that's okay for now. So now that we had made the contouring, let's try to add a little painty effect on this image. And to do that, to create this little painting effect, what I will do is use the blur modifier, because the blur is a very versatile modifier. So let's put the blur, add a little bit radius, and I will directly change its shape from Gaussian to custom. And this blur, in this option, I will change this aggregator here to minimum. I think minimum will be okay. So you see already, just with a Gaussian blur and an aggregator set to minimum, I already have like this kind of like a nice impressionism kind of shit. So you see the sample are very important in the blur modifier here. So if I augment or diminish the sample, it will really change the way my picture is looking. All right. So already we have something that looks a little bit more painting, but let's push that a little bit more just for the sake of it. And now my blur is actually just a Gaussian blur. So Gaussian blur is just an algorithm that uses two directional blur to create a Gaussian blur. So what I will do is change this algorithm from multipass to map. And this map, there's a lot of warning. Noise mask is deprecated because we are not going to use the noise map. You see the noise, what it does actually, if I change the size, it just changes the orientation of my blur. As you may see here, if I play and add a little bit of, okay. So you can see my blur changing. But I will not use the noise mask, I will use a layer mask. And I will set my layer as parent input. Where is my parent input? Here. So now what it's doing is actually my parent input is just, well, I cannot visualize it, but my parent input is this image, is whatever pixel grid is coming into my modifier. So the parent input just get back, well, the parent resolution of my image. As you see, my image has a resolution of 3264 by blah blah blah, and my parent input has this resolution. If I were to put my mask on my composition, then my parent input has a resolution of HD resolution, because now my blur is on my main composition, which is of HD resolution. Let's put back the blur here, and let's augment a little bit the size of my blur. Okay, and this algorithm, the map algorithm, it will actually use the luminance of my base image to change the orientation of my stroke, kind of, as you see here. So let's try to tweak it a little bit, maybe change the Gaussian curve here. Ah, it's not this Gaussian curve that I wanted to change, it's this one. The curve that allow my mask to change the shape of the direction of my stroke using the luminance. So direction on map layer. So let's change that to custom, and let's create some random pattern here and smooth a little bit. So I will use the chroma, but just shift things all over the place. So let's augment a little bit that, let's augment a little bit the budget, and let's reactivate our overlay. So I would not say that it's the most convincing cartoon effect, of course, but it can do the work. So let's try to add a little video into that. So let's put my custom blur and my overlay over my composition. Okay, and let's add a little video, smoke for instance. I don't know what my computer has today, but it's fucking slow. And let's play this video. Yeah, well, there you have it. Let's try with fire. Yeah, a little bit hardcore. Okay, so 0.5, let's add some frame blending here. Wow, with the frame blending you can make a really trippy effect. Okay, so that's it for now. I hope this tutorial has been useful to you, and see you next time.